Hello. This episode is driven by an unexpected situation that I didn't want to happen. So it came out before the time I had scheduled. You should actually see this episode at around the end of July, actually. And I should be in Chengyang now, but I'm not. I will tell you the reason later, so please just follow my pace. Today, I would love to share with you everything about my bold decision, which is to have a 2-month working holiday in South Korea. Since 2024, I have started to think about the meaning of a job for me. I started to realize that a job cannot make me rich. Then I've come to the conclusion that I must find a job I'm still passionate about. Then a question comes to me. What do I still have passion for? I don't know. But I always know that an exciting job opportunity doesn't come from the advertisements or websites of job recruitment. I believe it happens on the journey, in an unexpected talk, or even a bold email that you send to a company you like. So I decided to give myself some time to find the answer to my future through this trip. I know probably I won't find an exact answer, but still, I can make connections with other people to know something about what they do now and how they understand this world, etc. And this is also a chance that I can finish what I have always wanted to do. Okay, there is a very simple story about my carvings for social work. If my memory serves me, it was in my university. I wanted to go to Africa to attend a volunteer activity to help the children there. I don't know why I've always been interested in social work. To help those marginalized groups, those disadvantaged people. I kind of feel like it is one of my missions in my life. But at that time, of course, my family would not agree to that bold thought to let me go to Africa to complete my mission. So, doing social work kind of became my obsession. Then, this time, I decided that I have to make this trip. However, what really fueled this decision was actually a hospital experience. Okay, long story short, I didn't feel well, so I went to the hospital but was intimidated by the doctor's words. The following day after the check of the ultrasound, luckily I'm all good. But I do reflect on much about health and how to use and cherish time. And all this catalyzed my working holiday trip this time. And when I was determined to do this, I started to do some research. I found out that I can apply for this kind of volunteer activities through several websites. Then, without any delay and hesitation, I just started to do the application. The process is actually very simple and very accessible because you only need to fill out a form. There are no more than 5 questions for you that are more related to your experience and your skills and your travel purpose to their country. And you can also put a YouTube link on it, which is your self-introduction video so that the host can know you better through the video, or at least you can show your language level is okay to meet the requirement or handle life there, or whatever. Then I just not randomly, but just to be honest with all the questions, without researching any guidance or strategy, because I don't know why this would need a guidance or strategy, especially in the case that I know what I should do. So the story is, I chose South Korea as my destination because of 2 things. One thing is, it's really close to China. And this is my very first try to do this kind of overseas volunteer, so I was thinking that if something happens, I can just grab a flight ticket and fly right back to China. And secondly, I've been learning Korean for some years, so I can have basic conversations with my current Korean level without concerning much about handling daily life there. So, these were the reasons why I chose South Korea. The next step. When I checked the available jobs you can apply for in South Korea, actually there are no many options. Most of them are housekeeping in hostels, and some of them are helping with camping sites or helping in farms. And the rest option is teaching languages, mostly English, in kind of their community language studios, I guess. So I applied for all these three possibilities, but only one host in Busan gave me reply and confirmed my first 1-month trip. The rest, they said I cannot fit into their schedules or they would put me on the waiting list, and I waited until the application expired. I was like, wait, hang on a minute. This is definitely not what I planned. I actually planned to stay there for 2 or 3 months. So what I could do is just to search and keep applying for other positions. And this time, I modified my resume and made a new self-introduction video and paying much more attention to the questions I have to answer. But still, 80% of the hosts gave me no reply. At that time, luckily, a language studio contacted me very soon and said they would like to host me if I was able to reschedule my stay duration. Meanwhile, among them there is a farm owner who checked my application form and my messages but no reply at all. This website functions kind of like some social media or chatting apps. People can see whether the other side has read their message or not. There is a mark, you know that, right? Okay, the story begins right here. At that time, I'm waiting for the final confirmation from the language studio, and I believed there was only one step left to make it fall into place. And I thought I would not bother to ask the host of the farm because I don't need to. But, surprisingly, the host of the language studio read my message in which I told him my availability could match his vacancy, yet without reply. Coming to this point, I could not help taking it personally, thinking of whether there were some problems with me. I guess in this case, most people would choose to just give it up and let it go. But after struggling for a whole day, I decided to message them again, because I was thinking that it was not a sensible way to just let it go like this without any feedback, without knowing a proper reason. No. Then, with courage, I popped up 2 long passages to these 2 hosts. I will just read it out for you. Please bear with me. So for the language studio, I said, "Hi, it's been a while that I have not get a reply from you. I'm wondering whether there is any problem or reason for that. But anyway, I decided to send you a message again to give myself one last chance to strive for the position. I guess there might be some reasonable concerns, like whether my command of the English language can handle this job, or whether I am a persuasive presence for you especially your participants who obviously want someone who speaks proper English, yet I'm not from an English-speaking country. I understand you might worry about taking a risk to offer me this job, and there is a possibility that I may fail you. And you don't want to put us both into that dilemma. However, I still think there are ways to dissolve these concerns. An interview is great. Asking for my English teaching certificates is also reasonable and helpful. I just want to say there must be some sensible ways for you to pick up suitable candidates, and I don't want to lose the opportunity. You have my word that I'm there to do what I'm good at, and I will do the best. Having free accommodation and not taking the job seriously and even phoning it in are never ever my purpose. So far, if the above is my wrong assumption, I'm so sorry. If it's just that I cannot fit into your schedule, it's also okay. Warm regards. And the form. The most content was quite similar. It's just I decided to send you the message again, something like that. And I said, I guess there might be some reasonable concerns, like whether I'm equipped with the necessary skills or whether I'm there just for free accommodation. I feel sorry if you have had this kind of bad experience before. And for the rest of the message, almost the same as before. So I'll just skip it. So, at that time, my purpose is only to have a feedback from them. And I did not expect that they would rethink and host me. But unexpectedly, they replied, "Okay, language study first." This is what he said. "Hi, sorry for the delayed answer. I have been away for some days, and I'm now catching up on all the applications and the rest of my tasks I missed while I was away. We have no concerns regarding your level, as we trust everything you told us is truthful. We do have some quotas and numbers that we try to fill to provide the best environment and variety to our community. At the same time, we also work to ensure a smooth process and a good environment for the volunteers. To do all of this, we follow different parameters and guidelines. All this said, unfortunately, we failed our quota for July, and at the moment, I haven't opened the schedule for August. What do you think?" From my perspective, I don't know. I kind of feel that he was making a ridiculous excuse. I didn't mean to assume people like that, but in this case, this was the only thing on my mind. Then the form. What astonished me was that the farm owner immediately said he would like to host me and confirmed my trip. I was incredulous yet curious, so I replied like this. I said, "Thank you for hosting me, but I guess maybe you want to discuss further with me about some details. So if you don't mind, I'll leave my social media ID here, and I will wait for your message first and then confirm the date." Later, we had each other on a social media application, and he explained a lot about why he didn't reply at the beginning and told me his concerns. But finally, we came to an agreement about the trip. Since there was a bit of a change, I had to go back to the website to update my application, and the host had to confirm the new one. Surprise, surprise, the host again read it without reply or confirmation. This time I chose to just take it because nothing was left for me to do. Then, the better part of this story, just hear me out. You know that I started my podcast program in May, and around that time I did the application. That day, around 2 hours after I uploaded my second episode, the farm owner confirmed my trip. I don't know whether there was any relation between the two things or if it was just accidental. I only know that any host on that website can find my YouTube channel through that open link, and the view counts indeed increased that day. Anyway, I said yes and confirmed it on the website. Okay, seems like a good ending, right? But this is even not the best part. 1 week before this trip, I contacted the owner and checked with him the right bus and the routes that I should take. He was quite nice, told me everything in detail. I booked the bus ticket and waited for the day to set off. Just at the night before my journey, at around 11 p.m., I received a message from him, asking me whether I could change my schedule and arrive there earlier, because he had something to do and couldn't meet me at my arrival time and pick me up. Okay, a bit of information backup. Actually, the bus stop I have to get off is not the final destination. There is still 1 hour left to drive to the farm. You know that in rural areas, there's usually no direct bus to drop you off right at the farm. So, I was a bit speechless and triggered. I have to be honest. And then I said, sorry, I don't think I can make it. He read the message and didn't reply. I struggled again and again, and then decided not to go, taking all those subplots that happened in the whole process into account. Then I messaged him, telling him my true feelings. No excuse. I don't think I have to make any excuse for myself in this case, yeah? If there is someone who should be blamed, that's definitely not me. Then, after several minutes, he only replied, okay. The end. That's why I'm sitting here right now to do this podcast, which should appear in 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, now there is one thing left I want to talk about. That is what I have learned from this. The first one is that I kind of saw one of my traumas from this experience. I know I was triggered when the other side read the message and gave me no reply. This makes me feel so anxious and finally trap myself into self-doubt. I would retrieve and reflect on myself thousands of times, like, did I do something wrong? Is this case attributed to my personal problem? Should I take it personally? Looking back to my past, I found it also happens between me and my friends or even my boyfriends. It really triggered me when they read the message, but they ignored. I'm not saying this is a problem of anyone. It's just that I realized this arouses my trauma mentally, and I'm still on my way to figure it out. Okay, the second one, about letting go. I believe everyone has their obsessions. If the slogan of never give up is overused, a wish or a goal becomes an obsession. But I'm thinking about something in between. How about letting go of your expectations and desires in the beginning and try everything you can to make it come true? Then, if it doesn't work or you cannot see any hope, let it go. Do not make it become your obsession. Save yourself from that negative mental swirl. That's all. I guess that's all for today. Oh, sorry. I just recalled something. A question from one host. I don't remember which host, but just let me ask you. Describe yourself with one sentence. Oh, very hard, right? I thought about this for a really long time. I think now I will just say I'm just someone who is still learning to be a real human. Thank you for being here. As always, I will see you in my next episode. Bye bye.